All right, happy Tuesday. So today we're doing a little bit of cardio conditioning, but as usual, we're gonna start with a nice warm up, some mobility work, and then it's gonna be three groupings of workouts for 6 minutes each. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. So for the warm up, we're gonna do 45 seconds on, 15 seconds to rest. So the first one is gonna be toe taps, real fast, and then we're gonna go into our squats. Okay, so it's gonna be toe taps for 45 seconds, take a rest, do squats for 45 seconds, take a rest, and then we're gonna go into our butt kicks, and then we're gonna go lateral lunge to reach. So we're gonna go through all four of that, 45 seconds each, 15-second rest, twice over. Alrighty, get ready. I'm gonna set our timer, and in 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Starting with your toe taps. So if we can go fast, awesome. If not, start slow and build up. Okay, shoulders away from ears. We can use our arms to drive. Staying nice and tall, core engaged, and brace. So a little bit of a gut check like we always do. Nice. Switching up a little bit faster now. Okay, driving through, stay tall, 10 seconds to go. Okay, driving with the arms if we can, okay? And then switching in this position. 3, 2, 1, rest up. Good. 15-second rest, and then we're gonna go again, okay? Next one is gonna be 45 seconds of squats. Good. Ready, set, let's do it. Squats away. So go as deep as you can. We're not loaded. It's just to explore that hip mobility. Okay, maybe you're here on the first couple of rounds and then start to go deeper, but maintain that midfoot balance. So I always want to bring my chest a little bit forward, right where that plumb line from my chest to the floor drops between my feet. Okay, 10 seconds to go, and then we work our way down. Knees in line with the toe or slightly out, but only if you can keep that big toe down. In 3, 2, 1, let's go back into your toe taps. Sorry, we're doing butt kicks. You caught me, we're doing butt kicks, I apologize. So staying nice and tall, we're picking up that knee, and we're aiming to get that heel to the bum, okay? So it could be here, and all we're doing is we're waking up that whole posterior chain, okay? Really watch that we're not doing this, okay? So we don't want any of the internal rotation. Knees, stay in line with that hip as I pick up my foot, okay? 3 seconds to go. 2, 1, 15-second break here. And then we're gonna go into our lateral lunge with a reach, all right? So this is what it's gonna look like. We're gonna lunge, and then we're gonna reach out, come back in the middle, switching up onto the other side in 3, 2, 1, let's do it. So the goal is to get that chest to open up to whatever side you're stepping to. So for me, it's the left. I wanna get my chest to open to the left. So I'm gonna use my knee as leverage, push it out, and open up the chest at the same time activating the glute. Feet together again. Opening up the adductors. So from the side. And then after this, we're gonna do this round one more time, starting with your toe taps again. In 3, 2, 1, back into your toe taps. Now for the toe taps, if you want it a little bit more challenging, you can definitely grab a pad and aim to hit that mark. Okay, it makes you work a little bit harder as you have to jump that toe, quote unquote, onto the mat, right? So you're no longer just shuffling out. Now you're actually picking that foot up just a little bit and lightly tapping that mark. Now, the higher it is, the harder it is. 3, 2, 1, rest up. So this is where we build up on the squat that we did. Alrighty? We're gonna go deeper if we can, and we're gonna add our reach as well. All right, in 3, 2, 1. So here's your squat. I'm gonna use my knee as leverage so I can reach up and come back up. Come down, rotate, rotate, back up. And the great thing about the rotation is, especially if you've been sitting all day, it just gets that mid-back going and exploring another direction, right? So we're going into a squat, use the right knee or the left knee as leverage with the left elbow so I can reach up with my right hand, and then I switch sides. Good. You have about 5 seconds to go. And again, the goal is to see if we can get that chest to open up on each side of the wall. 3, 2, 1, back into your butt kicks. So if you were doing a lighter version earlier, right, you can start to go connect each movement. See if you can land softly. So maybe 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, reset, reset. If not, you can also go from side to side here, picking up that pace, or doing 4, reset, okay? So just starting to really push that to get that heart rate up a little bit more. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 15. So here we're still doing the lateral lunge, but we're gonna add a shuffle here, okay? In 5 seconds, we're gonna go. So we're gonna shuffle, reach, and open up. In 3, 2, 1, shuffle it out and open. Add a shuffle and open. So we want a little bit more dynamic to see if we can get that body to adjust and open up a little bit more for us as we're breathing through the movement, okay? From the side. Breathing through it. Nice. And in 3, 2, and done. Catch your breath. Take a full minute here as we go through some mobility. A little bit of mobility, about 3 minutes or so. Starting with our inchworm spiders. We're gonna do our bear to squat. And then we're gonna do some scapular push-up and shoulder taps to kind of get that shoulder warmed up and ready to go for the movements we've picked out for today's cardio conditioning. Alrighty, you have about 30 seconds. I'm gonna grab my mat, or not, it's up to you. If you're good without a mat, let's do it that way. All right, so we have about 25 seconds. Really get that breathing in control, right? Staying mobile. Ideally, we're not sitting down, okay? Because we wanna make sure we're catching that breath. All right, so here we go. We have 3 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Let's start with your inchworm. Up, down dog. To spider reach. Good, and then stay in that tall plank. Go back into your upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Back into your spider. And again, making sure that we're keeping that core nice and tight in that tall position. So I don't want to be sagging, shoulders away from ears. I'm back into my upward downward dog, spider away. And we're gonna do about 2 more on here. Breathing right through. So I want a little bit more dynamic movement again. Pushing a little bit more than the last rep. Either sinking that hip a bit more, driving that chest up, pushing that tailbone up to the ceiling, opening up the thoracic a bit more, head through between the hands, back into your tall plank, stepping up, dropping into that hip, and then reaching out, stepping back without letting that hip sag. Right foot, switch sides. Perfect. And then we're going to slowly walk our way back up and roll that spine up one vertebrae at a time with the head and the shoulder finishing last. Perfect. So we're going to go into our bear position next, which is a tabletop position. Starts off in a tabletop position, I should say, with the knees on the floor. I'm going to go a bit wider on my knees, right? About shoulder width apart. My feet is about hip width apart. And I'm going to lift my knees off. And I'm going to walk up, going into a bear. And then I'm going to come back down, back into my bear. And then I want to do a shoulder tap. Okay? So from here, I'm going to walk back, going into a squat position. I come back in. I slowly walk out into my tall bear position, and then shoulder tap each one. We're going to do a couple more, and then we're going to change it up a little bit. So really slow and controlled, keeping that core active. Quads should be pretty much feeling it at this point, okay? So this will be my last one. From here, I'm going to move back up in this position, driving my hip up. I'm going to sink my hip again. So this time we're opening up our hips. Drive up that low back to the ceiling. I can grab my hand under my toe or around my ankle or right by where my shin is, wherever the body will let you. And then we're going to drop. And then we're going to push that hip back up to the ceiling. And we're going to do one more time after this one. So I want to push that knee out from here to here. And then I'm going to push that hip back up again, just to really open it up. Breathing back out. Good. So from here, I'm going to go back into my squat. I'm going to walk back into my bear that we did. From here, I'm going to do my scapular push-ups. So scapular push-ups, squeezing the shoulders together. So if this is too much, feel free to drop that knee and just go into your push-ups, into your scapular push-ups, okay? But if you can maintain where the knee comes back off the floor, let's do that. So I want to see about 8 to 10 here. Make sure we're not rounding off too much, okay? And we're not dropping that core down to the floor. We want to make sure we keep the core braced. We have about another 15 seconds here. And then we're going to start to talk about the workout for the day. Good. Catch your breath. If you need to, shoulders away from the ears. Scapular push-ups, elbows stay straight. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and then releasing it. And in 3, 2, 1, good stuff. Okay, nice and relaxed. Let's get going on a little bit of a break while I talk about the first part of the workout. So, like I said, 3 6-minute workouts with 2-minute breaks in between. We're gonna need either 2 dumbbells, 1 dumbbell, or a backpack, whatever you have handy with you. So, 60 seconds on, 30-second rest, and we go through that about 4 rounds. Alrighty? So, ground to overhead for the first one, partnered up with the push-ups. So you do 10 ground to overheads in that 60 seconds. If you finish before that 60 seconds, you have to do the push-ups for the rest of the time. All right, so ground to overhead looks like this. So either with 2, it's weights in between, up overhead. So we're doing 10 ground to overhead, 10 ground to overhead, and then 12 push-ups for the rest of the time. Now, if you finish that 10 ground to overhead in less than 30 seconds, I want you to add 3 more ground to overhead to really get that 30 seconds of the ground to overhead, and then 30 seconds of the push-up, and then you get 30-second rest. So that's the idea behind that. Alrighty, so if it's too light, you add 3 more reps. If your weight is heavy, you should be able to get there in that 30 seconds. Alrighty, so if we're ready, we're gonna get started with 10 ground to overheads and as many push-ups as we can do in the rest of that 1 minute, and then we get a 30-second rest. Get ready, 5 seconds to go. Let's set my timer. In 3, 2, 1, here's our first minute. Ground to overhead for 10. Breathing in as I come down. Hands go in between the legs, driving straight up. Breathing in, big breath out. And that's 10 for me. I put it down. I go into my push-ups for the rest of the time on that 1 minute. Now again, you can either do it from the toe or from the knee, whatever would give you the most feedback. If you want to just push on through with a lot of them, power through a lot of them, by all means go on your knee. But if you can work on form and a little bit more strength, then let's go full push-up, tailbone tucked in, breathing in as you come down, chin stays tucked. 2, and rest up. Good job. Get some rest. So we have 30 seconds to rest. And we're gonna go through that 3 more times. Total of 4 rounds, okay? So if you finish that ground to overhead in less than 30 seconds, I want you to add 3 reps to it. Okay, get ready. 5 seconds to go. And in 3, 2, 1, we're back to our ground to overhead for 10 or 13. Because if you're pushing right through it, I want you to pick up a couple more reps to really get the work that we want to get done in that half an hour. And sorry, half a minute. Think I have 1 more? Perfect. And now I'm back into my push-ups for as many as I can in the rest of the time. Breathing in, big breath out. Working on form and control. I don't need to see 20 push-ups here. Really working, making sure we're getting the position right. We're getting stronger in that position. Active on the hands as we bring the chest down. You have 5 seconds here. And in 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds rest. Nice. Great work. We're halfway through, right? 2 more rounds, same movements. This time I'm gonna do it with my backpack. Now, since my backpack's lighter than my dumbbells, I'm most likely gonna add that 3 reps that we talked about. Alrighty, so catching that breath. We don't want the heart rate too low. In 3, 2, 1, let's do this. You got it. Chest up, pressing up. Chest stays up, hips lower than the shoulder, and I'm pushing that weight right through. I don't need to look up. I know where it's going. I'm gonna go straight up to the ceiling. Here's 3 more. I'm pushing the floor away, and done. Good, and then I'm back into my push-ups. I'll move that over so you can see. Take your breaks if you need it. Come down into your child's pose, or if you feel you can do more from the knee, by all means. But make sure that the chest and thighs touches the floor at the same time. And rest. Great work. 1 more round to go. And then we're gonna take a full 2-minute break. And then we're gonna move on to the next 6 minutes, to the next workout. Okay? Great work, guys. Nice. Really pushing through. So I'm gonna go back to my dumbbells. If you have 1 dumbbell, again, he'll make it a little bit lighter for me. So I'm gonna throw 3 more reps, maybe 5 more reps here. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Touching the floor, driving up. Straight up to the ceiling. Nice. Perfect work. That was good timing. So the goal is to always finish in that 30-second window for your ground to overhead. Okay? No more than that. If you feel that you're falling behind because you're taking too many breaks, go back down to 10 reps and then finish off with your push-up. But try and push hard enough that we're finishing off in 30 seconds or less. And rest. Great work, guys. Nice. So here we get a nice 2-minute break, catching our breath. So we want it intense enough, but not too crazy that we can't recover to go into our next one. So the next round is going to be 12 goblet squats. If you have a lighter weight, 15 is the number for you. Okay, and then we're going to do lateral drags, as many as we can. So goblet squats is in this position, down, back up, down, back up. From the side, breathing in, big breath out, okay? And then we go into our tall plank for the lateral drags, okay? Keeping that hip nice and square to the floor, chest stays up, okay? As many lateral drags as you can do the rest of that 1 minute. And again, the first 30 seconds is where we want to get all of those squats in, and then the rest of the time would be for your lateral drags. Lateral drags, not drugs, drags. Sorry, I'm trying to catch my breath so fast. It's coming out funny. Alrighty, so there's a minute here left. Catch your breath, grab some water. Get ready to go into your goblet squat. As heavy as you want to go. You can have your backpack in front of you or your 2 dumbbells in front of you. All right. Whew. Catch your breath. All right, 30 seconds to go. Let's get ready, have your stuff ready. I'm gonna go with 1 this time. Good. Here we go, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Goblet squat away for 12, so no pause at the bottom, no pause at the top. Push the floor away. Breathing right through it, nice work there, Deb. And then we finish off with our lateral drags. So keeping that core tight, into that tall plank position, active on the floor. We want to keep that hip and that shoulder square to the floor, pulling out as far as we can pull out, resisting the urge to rotate that hip. Okay, so we want to stay in that nice tall plank position. We have about 7 seconds to go here. Chin stays stuck. We don't want to drop that head. 3, 2, 1, rest up. All right, so now add a little bit more weight on mine. You can go lighter if you need to. If you are lighter, like I said, lighter weight, body weight, we want to do about 15 of those with a little bit of resistance. We're going to be doing 12, and then as many lateral drags for the rest of the time. Get ready. We have about 5 seconds to go here. Now, if I have 2 dumbbells, this is where it goes, or here. And go. Breathing in as I come down, big breath out as I come up. Loading my hip, driving up, pushing the floor away, standing nice and tall. So I wanna go as fast as the movement position will let me. Nice. Great work there. That beat me out on that last one. Stay active on the floor. Bring the hands closer if you need to. Feet a little bit wider. That'll give you a little bit of a wider base and give you a nice tripod with the hands closer as well. Chest up, shoulders active, and 3, 2, 1, rest up. Awesome. Now a second round. We're going into our third round, and then again, completing 4 rounds at this time. Alrighty? So if you have a backpack, I'm gonna demo that one. We have about 5 seconds to go. Are you ready? Ready to go? And let's go. So, backpack in front of me. Obviously it's lighter, so I can go a little bit faster and adding 3 more reps to it. 5 more here. And again, the shapes changes depending on the load I'm carrying, right? Want to make sure we accommodate it, but the position stay the same, right? Midfoot weight, chest with the palm line, dropping towards the midfoot. We're loading the hip and we're pushing out of the hole, okay? Straight up into standing. So then on a lateral drag, might be a little bit easier with a backpack because now it drags right through. But we want to keep that weight about midsection. 3, 2, 1, and done. So want to keep the weight right under the armpits. We don't want it getting too close because the tendency is we're going to start to push ourselves away and look like we're going into a pike position like this one. So we don't want that. All right, get ready. 5 seconds to go. This is our last round. We're gonna push right through it in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Hold that core, get that core engaged a little bit tighter as you get lower into your squat. And sometimes this might be good enough where you're at to maintain that nice, strong position on the core and on the hips, right? But if you can, go as deep as the body will let you in good form. Oh. Nice. Here we go. Breathing right through it. Again, I want to get into my tall plank. And in 3, 2, 1, nice. Catch your breath. So this is where we take another full 2 minutes to really catch that breath and recover. So at the end of this workout, we shouldn't feel like we're dead on the floor, okay? We wanna be able to energize you with this little bit of cardio conditioning so that you're able to then go out and enjoy the rest of the day. Alrighty, so catch your breath, grab some water. We're gonna go into our next movement, next segment, next round is gonna be 10 lunges per leg, sorry, jump lunges, 10 jump lunges per leg. So it's 1, 2, 3, okay, total of 20 because it's 10 per leg. And then we're gonna go into our bent over row. We're gonna grab our dumbbells or our backpack and we're gonna finish off with as many dumbbell rows as we can do. If you only have one, here's the position we want it to be, okay? With the backpack, Same thing, right? To the belly, shoulders away from ears, squeezing the shoulder blade together. So 10 jump lunges per leg or for 30 seconds. And then the rest of the time is spent with your bent over row, as many as you can for the rest of that minute. Okay, so jump lunges doesn't have to go all the way down, right? It could be here. Feet together, switching up, switch a little bit more faster, okay? Or if you want to add a little bit of resistance, by all means. Okay, we have 15 seconds to go. And we're gonna get into our third and final round, and then we'll cool down. All right, so here we go. 6, and in 3, 2, 1, 20 jump lunges, so 10 lunges per leg. I'm loading that front leg, okay? I don't wanna be jumping back like this. I wanna jump by loading my front leg, okay? So you can go as close as you can on this leg or as far as you want, but the load is about 70% on the front leg, okay? Shoulder relax, and done. Now I'm gonna go into my bent over row as many times as I can. So watch that we're not exaggerating that tailbone coming up, okay? Keep it nice and bent, pulling, chest stays up, chin stays up. So I don't wanna be rounded off. If we need to, come back up a little bit. And in 3, 2, 1, rest up. Woo! That was 1. We need to do it 3 more times. And then we're done. This is it. It's been hella fun. Good. 10 seconds to go. We're back into our jump lunges or really fast reverse lunges. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 2. Here's 2. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, if we're finishing a little bit sooner, like I did, either catch that breath or do a couple more. And then I'm gonna get ready to go into my bent over row. So, either both. Actually, this time I'll do 1. Pull, slow, controlled. Pull towards the belly button, slow, controlled. Shoulder weights from ears. Squeezing the shoulder blade. Keeping that elbow by the ribs. We don't want to be flaring out. Okay, keep it nice and close. You should be feeling that glute kick in, that bum, taking some of that load. Stay mid-foot. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice, catch your breath. That's 2, halfway through. 2 more rounds, and we are gonna go. Really getting that heart rate up at the very end here. Getting a little bit more on the glute. So, if that bend over is starting to give you trouble in the low back, feel free to go 10 on one side, switch up, do 10 on the other side. So modify it where you can maintain that pace. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Watch that knee is not caving in and that back knee is not twisting in, because then that means that hip is going this way and we're losing some of that stability from the hip, putting a little too much pressure on the knee and the low back. Alrighty? So slow it down if you need to. Always loading my front leg, getting my glutes to work, and we're on our bent over row again. So from here, I don't want to see us rounding. Shoulder down and back, active on the floor. Pull, squeeze, slow down. Shoulder away from the ears. Elbows close to the ribs. You can have the palms facing in, or you can have it facing in and then facing out. And in 3, 2, 1, rest up. Last round to go. So when we're doing our bent over row, watch that we're not shrugging here and bringing that weight to the armpit. We want it by the ribs. Okay, shoulders down, elbow in this position instead of here or here. Alrighty? Okay, get ready, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go, last round. You're a rock star. You got this. Nice. Breathing right through. You got it. Again, I've lost track of my count. So I'm going by Debbie over here. And I think we have 3 seconds to go. 2. Woo. Good job. Nice push. Here we go. Bent over our weight. So again, like I said, if we need to, do 10 here. Now keep that shoulder and the hip facing the floor. From the side. And we are done. Great work. High five, awesome work. Nice. Catch your breath. Put your weights away so we don't trip over it. Just like I said, knowing me, I probably would. So move my weights, my stuff, take it off the floor. I'm gonna clear it off. At this point, if you want a mat, I don't blame you, by all means. We're gonna take a little bit of a breather, doing some floor work. Catching the breath, grab some water. You guys work hard. Awesome, awesome time. Great work. So again, based on the workout, you want it to be pushing a little bit more, but you want it sustainable so you're able to do the rest of the workout for the day. And it shouldn't be leaving you like a pile of crumpled paper on the floor. It should just give you enough energy that you're able to move on and hopefully feel a lot stronger after that session. Alrighty, so we're gonna start off with our child's pose. Since we're already in this position, I'm gonna come into my nice big child's pose, sitting my bum back, walking my hands up as far as I can, breathing into the belly like we've talked about. So we want that belly pushing through the thigh and the low back pushing up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. So there should be no rising in the chest. Breathing right through it. And then from there, we're gonna come up, roll that spine up to the ceiling. And then we're gonna go into a nice upward facing dog. So even in this position, I want my shoulder active. I don't wanna be sinking into it, okay? And I don't want my gut spilling. I still wanna maintain a little bit of core control. And then I'm gonna turn my toe. I'm gonna push myself away from the floor, drive my hip up to the ceiling, drop my chest to the floor if you can, head right through between the hands, walk out my calves, my heel, get a little stretch on my calves, right before I come back into my tall plank, dropping my knee back into my child's pose. Awesome work. And then from here, we're gonna thread the needle, right hand underneath the left armpits, palms facing up. And then we're gonna swing the right shoulder out towards the right wall. So you're trying to resist that rotation with that hand being underneath the armpit, but we're trying to get that shoulder blade to kind of just relax. Breathing right through it. Good. Couple more breaths, and then we're gonna come back up. This time we're gonna switch. Left hand underneath the right armpits, palm facing up, shoulder away from the ears, and then I'm gonna try and pretend to swing my arm, pull my arm back out towards the left wall without actually moving it. Just to get that scapula to kind of just release a little bit, the rhomboids to release a little bit, get a little bit of stretch behind there. And again, just breathing right through it, catching that breath. Nice. Awesome. And then from there, we're gonna come back. We're gonna go into all fours, and then we're gonna go into our cat-cows. Breathing right through. Rounding off that shoulder, pushing the floor away from me, and then pulling that heel of my hand towards my knee as I drop my chest to the floor. Oh, sweat in my eye. Breathing in, big breath out. Nice. And we are done. Great work today, team.